Hey, it's Mark. I'm back, and I'm looking at some stocks tonight. I just want to go over some of the ones that I noticed today. It seems like healthcare is pretty strong still, and I think healthcare and pharmaceuticals are probably going to be where the rotation is if this rally keeps going. I mean the overall rally this year. So I was looking at VHT. It's kind of it's got some resistance it's been testing up against, and it's got a nice steady uptrend. It's been uptrending all year pretty much since the spring. So that's one to watch for a convincing breakout over these levels here, over about 252, 251. That's one to watch. It's kind of going in sympathy with the pharmaceuticals. PPH. Another one I found is Baxter. It looks like it's in a pullback. You see, it goes in these little pullbacks, and it's in a pullback right now. So that's one to watch too if you get some technicals going. But I think these ETFs are like a better shot here. But speaking of the healthcare, this one, MLSS, is a medical products device company, and it just broke out to a new 52-week high today. So that's something that I'm paying attention to, these ones that are strong when the market's weak. Because, pretty much all the major indices are weak now. So this one kind of did the same thing as that when we just looked at. Just kind of pulls back and then breaks out kind of a day late in to get the best setup here. But if it keeps breaking out, that's a breakout setup. So it looks like when it runs, it actually keeps going for several days. So it's in day, see back here it ran for like basically 5 days. It was green. Here it was 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 days. 1, 2, 3. We're on the third day here, and it's got these nice long candles. Like the volume came in. It's got some good range to it. So that's what I'm watching. MLSS. The real market's just kind of still boring and slow. It'll fake out like it's going to go up in the morning, and then it just sells off all day. It's been doing that pretty consistently. So the Qs are just in a downtrend channel right now. I gotta adjust that a little bit because they're just trending downward, and it's just kind of actually, it's like a really slow sell-off. So I expect that to continue. I mean, I'm not looking for any strength right now until it decides to really break that momentum. But I've just been focusing on these other sectors. So the other ones that I found, I went through some short watches or some short scans, and I found this one. It's a nice. It's on watch for a supernova short. It's just like a fintech kind of thing. But I looked at it. If you look at the past, back in the past, it had a similar type run back the beginning of the year, and it just crashed after that. And it's never really had. Well, it even did it back in 21 too. I didn't see that until I pulled out. But that's why it's always a good idea to pull out a long-term chart and kind of see how a stock behaves, because a lot of times it's the same market makers on these things every time. So there's patterns. So it's got 1, 2, 3 big spikes that have failed. So this would be the fourth time. Is the fourth time going to be different? I doubt it. So I just want to see how far to go up, and then it's a short watch. Then it's a short. SSYS was another one. This one's kind of more of a slow and steady one. It's just been a steady short control stock going down. Like the shorts are just controlling this one every day. It goes down pretty much. Spiked a little earnings, but not really. And then it's just back to the downtrend. It's got support down at about 13.45. So I wouldn't be surprised if it just gets to 13.45 in the next few days. I mean, or the next couple weeks. So that's a short. I mean, you see it lost a little momentum after earnings too. It's just dead. These are really good ones. I like shorting ones that just go down every day, like the staircase down. It's usually when there's. My hunch is those are usually where the short sellers are just kind of manipulating it lower. Because if they can't get a bounce, it's just a lot of selling pressure, shorts. Yeah, RID, Rite Aid, I finally shorted this one. It's kind of like the epitome supernova now. It's just crashing. So I'm basically just hoping it's going to be like a BBIG and just go straight down. But it wouldn't surprise me if it just bounces here. But I got puts for the week out, so I think if it goes below 2, I'm just going to take profit. But hopefully we get some nice unwind. We're also looking at SoFi. Everybody on Twitter loved that one, and I never really had a bullish stance on it. Like a lot of their they have a pretty substantial student loan book, and the good thing is for them is the student loans are capped at like 5 or 10%. I think they can other losses. So if these student loan repayments come up and people don't pay it, the worst they can do is lose a percentage of it. But I mean, what if it's worse than people think? And there's a lot of student loan defaults. It's going to hurt them for sure. And the technical setup is when it broke out there. I think that was earnings. It quickly reversed and filled in the gap. So it's a failed signal. It's a bull trap. That was definitely a bull trap up there. And I don't see any bulls on it because the bulls used to post every day on Twitter about how great they were doing and stuff, but it's a serious trap up there. I mean, all the momentum's gone. It took out some support, but yeah, I mean, it's definitely broken. And I'm not super sure of a short here, but I think it's got potential for a good short if it and the stop loss is if it just starts to break this down channel. So it's been, if it breaks, if it gets any break above there, so yeah, I just took out support from July. But that's not my favorite short, but it's definitely a setup. And the other ones, I went into Peloton shorts again, or puts. I'm kind of like I'm kind of trying to front run this this trend break here. It's got some excuse me, I swallowed wrong. It's got some support on that trend line, but the CUTR is I think that one's gonna crack. I went some puts in that, so there's a lot of short setups now. I'm seeing there's a lot of these multi-month breakdowns. at least in the small caps I've been seeing. What else we got? Yeah, let's go. I found another energy one too. This EGY is pretty interesting. It was up today on some good volume, and even oil and gas were down today, but it was up. It's a oil and gas company. And I'm glad I drew this line here because it looks like it basically retested this downtrend and held it, and it looks super bullish. See how this downtrend line, the price kept bouncing off of it, going down, then it went above it, and then came down here, bam, held the new support, and now that resistance is support, and it's just moving up nicely on some nice day range. 8%, it's up 8% today. The KXE, I was saying that was a good one to watch too. It spiked up today too. This one's got a chance. Looks like it's got a good base. See in these red lines, it's got the right technicals going for it, and it just popped up above a bunch of resistance. That's the line there. So if it holds that, it looks pretty good. And it might retest this trend support, but I like this one too. I think it has options too, but I'll probably be buying the EGY the EGY calls. Almost puts. I'll be buying the EGY calls. I've just been thinking about, my mind's just thinking about puts because of the all these short setups. Energy. That's about it for the energy. What else we got? The SPOK is doing pretty nice. Still got calls. This is one of the few ones that I'm optimistic on for calls. It's got a couple of hammers back to back. It's good. hammer candles. What else? CLV. It didn't do what I was hoping it would do. I was hoping it would just hold this level here. So now it's back below this resistance. So it's not looking really good right now. It's not looking good. I think if it cracks below 125 area, it's going to come back down. Oh yeah, the other ones I was looking at, I was talking about healthcare. The VHT, that's when I just started watching. It's got some funky volume on these days, but look, you can see here it had this huge sell volume on that day, but it didn't matter. So yeah, another one I found, healthcare bio. This is a flag. It's not the cleanest one, but that's a bull flag. And the sell volume's been pretty light. And this one's been in an uptrend, since last year, December. I don't know how I missed this one. I think I've seen it, and then it's just been kind of up and down there. But you see, it's not really. It goes sideways and up and down. But might be worth checking to see if it's got like a phase 1 or something. I'm just gonna check that real quick because when you see stocks that are up, that are doing well when the market's down, that's something. See, they don't have earnings until November. I'm just looking to see if they've got any announcements. I think I actually tweeted out the biotech stocks that have phase 2 or phase 3 announcements coming up. I'm not going to look through this right now. So natural gas is playing some games here. It broke out and came back down. But I still think it has a chance because it's still got the uptrend. As long as it holds this long line here, it's still got an uptrend. KSCP. This one I found when I was looking at a bunch of robotics companies, and I was looking at AI and robotics companies. This one's a small cap robotics company, and they make, security robots that can roam an area, and they use like lasers and sensors. So I think this one has a good chance if they keep growing. I mean, maybe they'll get bought out. I mean, that's probably the best case scenario, so they can scale it. But it had such a huge run in July. I think it could easily go up to the highs there, to 220 or so, if it actually gets some momentum off of this break. Let's look at these slow stocks have been pretty stubborn. I've pretty much given up some hope in these solar names. I think it's a matter of them getting the funding. I mean, they need subsidies, and it's kind of a complex industry. I think that's about it that I was. Let me see if I put any new positions on that I can touch on. I think I just did I recently did the UNG natural gas, and I still have the China short and Brazil short, or I should say the puts on those indices. And then the robotics one is this rewalk. Oh, it actually kind of perked up there. It's another robotics company that has good growth, and it's actually kind of doing a little pennant there. So I'm watching that one too. Another one I found that it's kind of been neglected in the hotel space has been this In Suites. It's a hotel chain, and there's a lot of them too. Like I used to live in Charlotte, North Carolina, and they hit a lot of these in Charlotte. They're sort of like a low budget, cheap one. But the other hotels are pretty much still at their 52-week highs, so I don't see why this one wouldn't catch on too. You see, it really had a run back in June, but maybe that's it. I mean, maybe just not gonna get it, but we'll see if it gets a big spike day. It needs a good spike, another spike day, like one of these big candles back there. But it's kind of uptrending, which is usually when the stock uptrends like this really slowly, it means it's going to do that. It's going to eventually have a little spike, especially when the market's been going up. But that's one of the things I noticed, because I'd watch these stocks that just kind of trend up slowly, and then they spike, and then you wish you had bought it. Because like here, you can kind of, the risk is defined. So say you buy it, well, I only buy stocks that show momentum. So it would need to break over the close of today. So if it hits $2 a share, that's a buy, and then the stop loss would be like 194 or 193 to be safe, because it's got a lot of support at 195. So it's actually kind of a good setup in the sense that the risk reward is there for potentially 10, 20, 30% or more. So that's a good one too to watch. Some of my other longs have just been getting hammered, like this one, Array. I just got annihilated in Array and Nerdy, but I like Nerdy for the long run. But it's really got a bounce here. It looks like they had earnings that weren't good, so I might cut this one. Echo. Yeah, some of these earnings I'm seeing these earnings. They last few stocks I looked at here, they've gone down after earnings. For the past couple of weeks, pretty much every stock that had earnings went up. I mean, I must have looked at about 15 or 20 stocks that had earnings, and easily it's 80% of those that I looked at, the stocks popped on their earnings and held. But the save is still. I was going to look at the calls on this one, because they're getting bought out by JetBlue for $33 a share. It's either 31 or 33. So it's about it's actually like about a 90% gain, but with the options that would be pretty good. So that's one to watch. I'm just kind of hoping it goes lower, because it's just kind of downtrending. So maybe I'll get a really good price on some calls. I found an ETF there's an ETF that tracks merger arbs. Let's find the ticker. Ticker is ARB. It's a merger arbitrage ETF. So the bread and butter way to do a merger arb is you long the stock that's getting bought out. So in that case, you buy, save, and you short the company that's buying it. So you short JetBlue. And a lot of times, even actually, these companies that buy other companies, they don't do so well after the merger, like, because they have to integrate it, and it's costly to devote labor to integrating a merger. And a lot of times you'd see in the past companies that were the acquiring company the stock goes down on the announcement and doesn't perform so well. That's why. But this ARB, it's kind of like it trades like a bond. It just goes nowhere, but it's got a 4% yield, dividend yield. It's actually been uptrending since June or May. But I always like to put stuff like that has a high dividend yield in my Roth IRA, because the Roth IRA, there's no taxes on on the dividends, so it's 100% tax deferred forever, pretty much. So it's a good thing to put these dividend payers in the Roth IRA. So I don't see why it wouldn't have a better return over the long term, but like Warren Buffett, his bread and butter when he started his partnership was merger arbs in special situations, and going private transactions, spinoffs, buy tender offers. There's a lot of ways to get really solid returns. You just have to look through the SEC filings. I do that. I used to do that a good bit. The going privates, and you can find deals. You can find stuff every now and then. Maybe I'll do a video on that sometime. It's pretty simple. And a lot of times it's because they're small cap companies. The big institutions don't really look at those things. So I'll just wrap it up here because I just wanted to look at a few of those charts, and catch you later.